Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a couple weeks since we've got a fish room update, and that's what we're gonna do today. We spent a weekend down in Portland at the Wet Spot Tropical Fish and came back to green water, had some fish on the floor, but not all bad news. I mean, I love green water, that's not bad news, but fish jumping out, that is definitely bad news, and I'm gonna show you them first. So basically in this 10-gallon tank here, I had a pair of Apistos, not a pair of Apistos, but a pair of Aspidoras, okay, let's, a little rusty here, folks. I had a pair of Aspidoras, and it was just a male and female pair that I've had for 2 years. They've never spawned. When we came back, I found them on the floor. I've never had Aspidoras jump out of a tank. It's very bizarre. Something must have scared them. But it's not all bad news. So you see the fry here. These are orange lasers. They actually spawned before they jumped out of the tank. And we can see the smaller fry back here, these small little guys. Those are the Aspidoras. Very peculiar, very weird. Like, it's almost like they laid the eggs and then we're like, peace, we're out of here. On to the next adventure. But so yeah, that's cool. Like I said, 2 years, they've never spawned. They spawn, they jump out of the tank. But you know, as you can see now, I'm putting tops on everything. These peppermint loaches were constantly jumping over, like every day, coming over here and scooping them back out. So you know, you just need tops. Just, you know, gotta buck up, can't be lazy, get the tops on there. So yeah, not all bad news. It sucks, but at least there's fry. I've never even seen these fish for sale since I got them in the last 2 years. So that's what's going on there. In the last video, I mentioned these guys possibly spawning, and they did. And wouldn't you know, the fry, they also hover like this. So this guy just hovers all day. There was 3, I'm down to 1. There was 3 before I left. There's only 1 that I see since we've been back, which is just what happens sometimes, you know. Hard to take care of fry when you're not here. But it's still really good news that they spawned. Super happy. I'm not sure where they spawned. Mitchell Broom reached out and said that they're pretty known egg eaters. They eat their own eggs. So I'm really gonna have to start watching. Chances are they probably spawn in the spawning mop, as most Aspidoras like spawning in high flow. So they either spawned in the tube or in the moss. So that's what I'm gonna keep watching from now on. And you see everyone chowing down on some massivore here from Hikari. What else? I did get some new fish. We should have some new Apistos down here. I don't know if I'm gonna find them. Oh, so here's the female right here. They're in there with the Zodiac loaches, and then these leopard cories here. The male, I don't see the male, which is, oh, here he is, right up here. Absolutely beautiful, good looking male. Way bigger than the female, but so far that hasn't been an issue. I also picked up another pair of Epistogramma urethras. I'm not even close to saying that right, but what are you gonna do? Let me move this light forward here if I can. That's about it. And really beautiful Apisto, just nice silver, and with a red tail with the black horizontal stripe. I really like them. And here with the con color corridors and pencilfish, marginatus pencilfish. I do have some new fish in here as well, but I'd like to point out real quick, panda cories. This is the most success I've ever had with panda cories. I apologize for the state of the tanks. I swear, like, you can leave for a day and you come back and all your tanks are just mess. It doesn't matter if you leave for a day or a month, you just come back to messy tanks. That's just the way it is. But yeah, I've never had success with panda cories. These are from the Fish Room, which is a pet store, a fish store in New Mexico. So if you're in New Mexico, check it out. Very healthy, doing very good for me. It's been a few months now, and no eggs yet. I don't know why I said it like that. No eggs yet. No eggs yet, but they have been showing some spawning behavior. And then the new fish, don't mind this tank. This is really ugly. We'll just skip right over that blue-green algae. Puffer's still doing well though. The new fish are gonna be these Corydoras hastatus, which is the black diamond cory. Another one of the pygmy species that is becoming ever so rare. These used to be available all the time, however, not so much anymore. So I had to jump on this group. They came in really small, so I put them in this breeder box so I could keep an eye on them. And now for like the really big update, and that is the sheer amount of fry I have. So let's take a look. These black Venezuelan cories have been spawning every day. As a matter of fact, they just spawned today because these eggs weren't here this morning. I'm gonna have to save them. The snails are getting to them. It's so frustrating, but pretty easy to get to, kind of. Just take my razor here, scoop them up, make sure they stay on the blade as I pull this out. And then we're gonna just drop them right here. This is all I do, folks. I put them right here underneath the outflow here. As you can see, it keeps this area nice and clean. They're gonna drop right down in here once they finally settle. And these fry are about ready to move out. That's all I do. I also don't use live food at all. Not a single one of these cories has ever had live food. Here's one of my very first spawns right here. This little guy, right around an inch, grew up in the tank. There's 3 or 4 of them that grew up in the tank. And then the orange lasers are over here. They're actually kind of shy. Orange lasers are kind of a shy cory. They just hide a lot. And they're spawning for me quite a bit too. Nothing like the black Schwarzeye here though, or black Venezuelan, whatever you want to call it. Technically they are black Schwarzeye, but the pet name seems to be black Venezuelan for some reason. Now that may not look like a lot of fry because it wasn't, because I've got tanks and tanks and tanks of fry. So we already saw this one. It's got orange lasers and the aspidoras in there. Not a ton, but some. This, I mean, you can see all these black spots all over the place, all just fry everywhere. Cherry shrimp all over the fish room. I think every single tank has cherry shrimp. But you can see right here, this fella in the back is bigger, so there's a few different spawns, but that's not all. So there's these, which is probably about 100 in here. I have them split up, right? Obviously that's the smart thing to do. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So we come down here, there you go. This guy's getting pretty big. Now there's only about 50 in here, and this water is going through either an algae bloom or bacterial bloom, but I'm not too worried about that. So there's about 50 here and about 100 in the top tank, and more coming every single day. It's ridiculous. Now, my regular Venezuelans have started spawning and waiting for those to hatch out, but nothing else spawning. And I have a feeling I'm not gonna get much else to spawn until I get it either RODI or like last winter, start collecting rainwater. If you haven't guessed, I've been collecting apistos, and again, I don't think they're gonna spawn until I start getting some softer water. My water runs really hard, around 8 pH, which is very unusual for this area. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, which is known for having really soft water, but lucky me, I'm not even on a well. I don't know where this is coming from, but yeah, high pH and lots of mineral content. So if I was into like Lake Tanganyika still, as I was a few years ago, then this would be perfect, but I'm not. So yeah, RODI is probably in my future. And then one more really big update that I'm really excited to share. This used to be my office. So fish room, office. This is where I used to live stream from. As you can see, no more desk, no more live streaming. It is tubs. So we got a couple nights of really cold weather, and it was a rush to get them in here when we got back. So I've got in here, this is mostly cherry shrimp, but there is a breeding pair of Gary Lang Chilothrina blaheri, which I have fry of. In this tank here, I wonder if we can see any again. So this is with the aspidoras. I took a clump of this milfoil type of plant out of that tub, put it in here, and the next day there was about a half a dozen fry in here. So that was pretty neat, although not seeing any now. And also real quick, I know I'm kind of all over the place here. When I said I've never fed them live food, let me show you what I feed them. This right here is my go-to, Golden Pearls. This stuff, now this is specifically the 5 to 50 micron. I've shown this a few times. As you can see here, size 1, 5 to 50. And let me show you just how small 5 microns is. All right, so basically just this powder. We're gonna just kind of sprinkle it in there. So it's really small, but this is not 5 microns, right? So it's clumped up clearly. Here's where we're gonna get the 5 micron. I'm gonna stick my fingers in there. See that cloud? That cloudiness, that's the 5 microns. So if you got a small fry, there you go. If you don't wanna deal with live foods, I've had really good luck with rainbows, with cories, with apistos. This golden pearl is just like a magic food. I love it. But anyways, back over here. Pretty sporadic, I know, all over the place. This one here is gonna be trout goodies. There's no lights in here, so I apologize. Can we see? We're actually in the process of moving things right now, so we don't have lights on this. But we can take a look at this gal here. There she is. This is a Europlatus sicerae. Beautiful little leaf-tail gecko. Probably the best camouflage you'll ever see. Not here because she's on a black stick, but if she was on a moss-covered stick, you wouldn't be able to see her at all. So trout goodie here, can't see them yet. And in here is the sunrise high-fin platy that I got from Dan's Fish. And in this tote over here, there's just a ton of Lemia Paraguay. Really bad reflection here, but there's a big group of them right there. And then just fry everywhere. These exploded on me outside this summer, so let them all grow out and list them on the website, I guess. And there's one new addition to the fish/reptile room, and that is this Hydrosaurus right here, species unknown. You're probably gonna have to wait for it to grow out before we get a proper species ID. But yeah, this little guy right here, just in here having the time of his life. He's gonna get huge. These are one of the prettiest, like just gnarliest, larger lizards that you can see. I'll put up a picture of what an adult looks like. So yeah, he'll be getting a nice big tank when he's older, but for now, he's in this Exoterra, which is equivalent to like a 40 breeder. It's 36 by 18. So yeah, he's still a little bit skittish. He's starting to calm down now. He's feeding off of tongs, which is nice. All right, that's all I got for you today. Like I said, just a really quick update. Want to get everyone caught up to speed on where we are. The breeding reports, how many fry. I mean, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of black Schwartz eye fry. Super cool. And tens and tens and tens of orange laser fry. Got Aspidoras fry. Now that's all my Aspidoras are now breeding. My Rochai, my Spilotus, and now I'm gonna say Posilius, but that's probably wrong. The ones that suicided. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All my Aspidoras have spawned, and now I can focus on some of the other species of Corydoras in here. But I hope you enjoyed the quick update. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you all in the next one.